I know you're not happy with him. Not on this occasion. No, not this time. I can do the dance at the 7 hours. So, councillors, we will be returning in a couple of minutes once we have swapped the chain over to Councillor Weller. So we'll be back with keep proceeded.
I, Kate Weller, having been elected to the office of Chairman of Wayland Town Council, declare I take that office upon myself duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Wayland Town Council. Let's sign that.
Madam Mayor, if you just like to come in. You and I will sign as witness and proper officer. Thank you. Completed. Thank you very much.
My first duty is to ask you if you have any nominations for deputy mayor.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. First of all, can I congratulate you on behalf of the Liberal Democrat Group for your appointment to the Mayor, and also as a thanks to Councillor Weaving for her year of service, one I know that she has enjoyed. I would like to nominate Councillor Alex Furman to the position of Deputy Mayor. I think the two of you will make a remarkable team, with you upholding traditional values of Mayor, and so Alex will very much appeal to a new type of people who don't normally engage with politics in the Mayor, and I think for that you'd make a remarkable team, and I'm delighted to propose Councillor Alex Furman.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hope. Do I have a second? Councillor Willis? Any other nominations? In that case, can I go to a vote, please? All those in favour of Councillor Furman as Deputy Mayor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, Madam Mayor.
Any against?
1, 2, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Sorry, any abstention? Yes, right, thank you. In that case, Councillor Furman is duly elected to the role of Deputy Mayor of Wayland Council.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Confused?
I, Alex Furman, have been elected to the office of Deputy Chairman of Weymouth Council and declare that I take that office upon myself that will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Weymouth Town Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, that's the paperwork complete for the office of Deputy Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Town Clerk. We go next on your agenda to apologies for absence. How many apologies for absence? We had apologies from Councillor Young Bergman, Councillor Kenyon and Councillor Richard Nicholson. Thank you very much. We need to take a vote to accept those apologies. I think that's right, isn't it?
Formally approved.
Formally approved. So could I have somebody to nominate? Councillor Wakeling. And somebody to Councillor Cross. Secondly. I have a show of hands, please. Thank you very much. Declarations of interest.
So we've had none notified, Chairman, and no councillors have sought a dispensation for any item on this.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the minutes of the last meeting. That's the meeting that was held on the 3rd of May 2023. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, if I may, through you as the chair, my apologies that you do not have the minutes in front of you tonight. The meeting was only last week and unfortunately there hasn't been time to draft the minutes. So at the next council minutes with your agreement, Madam Mayor, we will be bringing 2 sets of minutes for agreement.
Okay, thank you. We come on now to councillors' questions, and I think we have a list of councillors' questions, but I'm going to hand over to the town clerk for those for the moment. Thank you. Questions from councillors?
Chair, so councillor, and I'm just going to put you in on Councillor Hope would like to ask 2 questions, Madam Mayor. Then we have Councillor Watley and then Councillor Legg. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My question is as follows, and it's following the successful King's Community Concert which took place on our wonderful Weymouth Beach. Will the rest of the council join me in proposing a vote of thanks to all the staff involved, in particular our resort team and events manager, for their efforts in making a truly successful and enjoyable event enjoyed by so many.
Well, I'm very happy to second that proposal. And I don't know how we feel about it, though, just thanks other than for us all to put our hands up. Very much indeed, and do pass that on to all members of staff because more important time. We were blessed with weather as well, unlike the King.
My follow-on to that question is in light of the King's coronation celebrations, the council also joined me in thanks to all community groups and residents who organised street parties, community events and volunteering activity to mark the coronation of King Charles III. I think we recognise that some of them, the weather was against them, but everyone continued in great spirits and enjoyment was had by all.
Yeah.
Very much. Next. Councillor Watson.
It's about the Esplanade. As you probably know, there's no cycling on the Esplanade there. The signs are so small, it's unbelievable. I've spoken to the beach staff and they say that the council made a mistake. And they are now bringing in some A boards with bigger signs so that people could see them. I mentioned it because yesterday 15 cyclists went past in a row. Despite several people telling them no cycling, I'll leave you to guess what the reply was, which is not very nice. And therefore, I hope that the next thing is that once we get the signs, we will endeavour to enforce it with CSAS and our beach staff. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to hand over to the town clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just for the clarity of the minutes, cycling is permitted on the Esplanade. It's the promenade that has the limitations on it. Just in case anyone is watching on YouTube or reading back at the minutes, don't want to anger the cycling community at all. I will speak to the resort team and ask them to look into enforcement along with our colleagues at Dorset Council, CSAS and the police. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
My apologies.
That's quite all right. Thank you very much for bringing the matter up. I think we have Councillor Legg next to it. Councillor Legg.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On the 9th of September 2020, this council passed a motion on 20-mile-per-hour zones in the town and decided on 2 actions as minuted in PO 221. Since then, Dorset Council has adopted a policy covering town and parish blanket speed limits. What has been done by WT or Weymouth Town Council since September 2020, and what are the immediate plans for such a project?
Thank you very much, Councillor Legg. This is very much, I think, a joint Weymouth Town Council and Dorset Council initiative ultimately. And one that I'm very much in favour of personally, and I know a number of colleagues are as well. So I think that we need as councillors to talk about how we progress this, bearing in mind the capacity of our officers. But we do need to have those of us who are both Dorset councillors and Weymouth Town councillors to be a little bit more proactive in that respect. I don't know whether other Dorset councillors agree with me.
Yeah, because the first part of the question hasn't been answered. What has Weymouth Town Council done since September 2020?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As councillors will be aware, the policy has only recently been agreed by Dorset Council. So a vast majority of the time since that decision was taken in 2020 has been spent awaiting Dorset Council to confirm the procedure. Now we've had that in place, a mechanism is available to communities to raise individual requests for 20-mile-per-hour zones to the Planning and Licensing Committee in the same way that communities can raise requests for parking restrictions. Through that, the role of the Planning and Licensing Committee is to approve that before sending on to Dorset Council, who are the body that can actually enforce any changes. There has been no request through any committees or full council for a global project regarding 20-mile-per-hour limits at this time. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Norman.
May I add something? I know this is a debate. Within the neighbourhood plan, thank you. There was quite a lot of support from members of the public for 20 miles areas and limits, and we inquired whether the neighbourhood plan can make a pronouncement on that and then get the better entities to get support for it. It's not something that's normally covered by a neighbourhood plan, the technical advice we've been given. But there is popular support and there is some evidence in the surveys that we've collected. I have looked at the Dorset Council policy. And you might believe that it's designed to make it difficult to get a 20-mile-an-hour zone in any region. And you can also suggest that it's written around parishes where there's a small population who have to be engaged, not a large population. So I'd quite like us to look at having a meeting with Dorset Council about how this policy is expected to be applied to Weymouth. There are a number of areas already in Weymouth that have 20 miles an hour that didn't have to go through quite such an onerous policy. It still took years for it to get passed. Not an easy process, but I do believe that the policy needs some adjustment to take into account town and size. And I think generally there is popular support for 20 miles an hour in residential areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor James?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As somebody who stood on that ceiling where I lived, and it took, I think, in my role at the time, it took about 9 years to actually get it to fruition. I'm having meetings, community group support, big support, door knocking, everything. It took an awful long time. I was under the impression that Livermore had already sort of said they wanted that 20 mile per hour speed limit. And I think at the time, Dorset Council were very accommodating as far as they could. I was actually for a very, very long time. It happened. Also, what they don't tell you, if you look at the legislation, is that if you have physical traffic calming, this is not enforceable. If it's signage, it is enforceable. Now, we worked closely with the police as a community who said that they would be quite happy to enforce it. But whenever you ask them to enforce the traffic calming and use to in Gold Road, they never want to. So I think that's something to bear in mind, that whoever wants to have a 20 mile per hour speed limit, they need to think about how they're going to do it and in what form. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Watkins?
As most of you know, the Park District has had a 20 mile an hour limit for the last 20 years. It was brought in when it brought in the one-way system in the residence parking, which is the first in the borough, the old borough. Unfortunately, as Councillor Questions says, it's not enforceable. We've got traffic calming, but they still do 50 miles an hour down Randy Road, Greenwich Street and all. So unless it's going to come up with a plan for policing 20 miles an hour, it's going to be an onerous job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Levy, you wanted to come back?
Yes, okay, because town clerk said that nobody raised it. I'd just like to point out on the 21st of April last month, I wrote requesting a reply to Charmaine, yes, please, which was, do you want a Weymouth 20 mile an hour speed limit, something to be considered? So it has been raised. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to close that debate now, but it's obviously something that we do need to raise and give some thank you, because it is a popular initiative among a good many of our residents, I believe. And thank you very much for bringing that, Councillor. Do we have any other questions?
Not that I'm aware of, Madam Mayor.
Anybody else have any? Councillor Hamilton.
Thank you. Sorry, I haven't given you advance notice. I just wanted to thank both outgoing mayor and outgoing deputy mayor, because they both did a great job, and I know in particular for Councillor Roos, it was a challenge with all the many commitments. So I don't know if we've formally had a chance to thank you both as council. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hamilton. That's councillors' questions completed. The next item is the town mayor's announcements, and that's now me. So I've just got a very few words. I hope it's very good words. I'll be as brief as I can. But that's a good evening for you all. And start by thanking you for electing me to the role of Mayor of Weymouth. I'd like to extend my thanks and the thanks of all of you I know to Councillor Anne Weeding. Anne's been a popular mayor and she's been a terrific ambassador for the town and for the council. My thanks next go to Councillor Tia Roos. She's combined being a mum for a young son, full-time job, a very hands-on councillor, and deputy mayor. That's no mean feat. And I think, again, we would all like to extend our thanks to her. She's also shown an amazing skill as a chairman. And I can't promise to emulate that, but I'll do my very, very best. Thank you very much, Tia. The formal part of our thanks, because it all seems a little bit to just say that, the formal part of our thanks to both Anne and to Tia will take place at the annual meeting, which is combined with the community expo on and around the Jubilee plot, May 20th, is it 10 o'clock? Saturday, May the 20th. Again, and I hope that as many of you will be there and as many of our residents will be there. It promises to be a terrific event with a lot of our community taking part and a lot of our volunteer organisations. So we could all benefit and learn a huge amount from that. So I do hope you will all be there and I look forward to seeing you. We're a very young council, and despite the pandemic, I think we've achieved a tremendous amount. I personally see this coming year as consolidating all the hard work that we've done and preparing to hand over to our next newer, vibrant, energetic councillors for the following 5 years. And I look forward to your support in doing that all the time. And my final words, and you would expect this from me, so I have no qualms in saying it. It's a sort of a housekeeping thing. I prefer, and I won't throw a tantrum, but I would prefer to be referred to as Madam Mayor. I dislike being called Chair, not least because nobody sits on me. And the next thing, and it will rankle with some of you, I know, but when you're speaking, if you're able to, I'd quite like you to stand, and that's not because I've got some exalted impression of who I am, simply, and particularly for those people who watch us online, it identifies who's speaking because it's awfully difficult to know who's speaking when we're all sitting down. But if you're able to and you're willing to, please stand when you're speaking. It also makes your voice carry very much better with or without the microphone. So I'm making that request. As I say, I won't throw a tantrum, but I'd be pleased if you would. And I think that's it for my announcement, other than to say that this is an opportunity for our retiring mayor, Councillor Anne Weeding, to say a few words.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like, first of all, to thank everybody, all of you here, every single councillor, and of course, our town clerk and all the people that support her. It's been fantastic, and also thank my, I'm going to say lovely, Helen. Without her, I couldn't have done it. She's been brilliant. And when it comes to herding me, it was like herding the cats. So she's been very patient with me, but I have loved it. And it's been the happiest year in my life that I've had for a long time. Thank you.
Yeah, did you want to say anything? Okay, so let's. No, you don't have to. Don't talk. Okay, thank you. Councillor Harris.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to modify something that you said, if I may. And that is, in your praise for Pia, yes, I totally agree with that, but I would add one more thing. I would say that she became an expert with the gavel. I think that ought to be recorded as well. And secondly, one of the things that Anne has done is it enabled this council to be the first council to have a female mace bearer. So thank you very much for doing that as well.
Thank you very much, Councillor Harris, for reminding me of those days. If not, we go from here to public question time. We've not been informed of any public questions. Is there anybody wishing to speak? No? Okay, thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is election of leader. Can I ask nomination, please, for election of leader, Councillor Legg?
I'd like to nominate Councillor David Harris, continue on for another year. I don't want to speak very long about it, but he's had this unusual task this last year, which leaders don't get very often. And neither do actually leaders of the House of Commons. She had one as well, and that is the proclamation of King Charles a couple of days after the death of Queen Elizabeth. And I thought he did that very well. Not that he'll get to do it again for a long time, hopefully. But nevertheless, I'd like to nominate David Harris.
Thank you very much. Seconder, Councillor Williams. Okay. Do we have any other nominations for leader of council? No? Can I have a show of hands, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, Madam Mayor.
Those against?
None, Madam Mayor.
Abstention.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. In that case, Councillor Harris, you are elected as leader of the council for a further year.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Election of deputy leader. Do we have any nominations, please? Don't all shout at once. Councillor Oral.
Nominate Councillor Lambert.
Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Cobb? Are there any other nominations?
I'll nominate Councillor Wakeling.
Councillor Wakeling, do I have a seconder for Councillor Wakeling?
Yeah.
Councillor Wakeling.
Yes, I'll accept.
Sorry, and I didn't ask, so my apologies, Councillor Lambert. Are you happy to accept that nomination?
Yes.
Thank you. Right, Councillor Wakeling has accepted the nomination. Do I have somebody to second? Councillor Barry? Right, any other nominations? No, in that case, the vote is first for Councillor Lambert. Can I have a show of hands for Councillor Lambert, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And for Councillor Wakeling.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Madam Mayor. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
So that is a clear.
There's a clear majority for Councillor Questions. Thank you very much, Councillor Bailey. Thank you very much, Councillor Lambert. Right, so nominations to committees. What I'm going to suggest here, sorry, Councillor Wakefield.
I'd like to propose an amendment.
Oh.
Can I just say how this should proceed and then you make it, do you mind?
Yes, I may.
Is that okay? Thank you. All I was going to suggest is that the town clerk will state the name of the committee. She'll read out the names as we have them for those people to represent those committees. If you could stand up so people see who you are, and everyone else can see who you are, if you're able to stand up, if you wouldn't mind. And then you can nominate for the chairman. That will have to be confirmed at the first meeting of that committee because of procedural. It's good to know who the chairman is going to be, but that confirmation has to come when there's been the 3 days notice of calling the first committee meeting. If you understand what I'm saying, you have to have 3 days clear notice of the meeting. And we don't have it at the moment, we're just nominating people to those committees. So you decide who you want as chairman, that will be confirmed at the first meeting, and then at that first meeting, the chairman can ask for nominations from vice chairman, and that will, you'll all then be legal and secure and can go ahead with lots and lots of very exciting work. Councillor, you wanted to amend something?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On the independent group, on this grid, can we swap Councillor Watley on planning with Councillor James on imports? That's me.
No. That's the what then?
Councillor James. Thank you.
Councillor Ferrari.
Sorry, if I could just, and then appeals goes to.
Councillor Watley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Ferrari, you want to do?
Madam Mayor. I think I'm called no nomination in the system.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So the names nominated to Services Committee are Councillor Matt Bell, Councillor David Harris, Councillor Ryan Hope, Councillor Oz Panji, Councillor Jill Taylor, Councillor Tia Roos, Councillor Mark Tewkesbury, Councillor Michael Frost, Councillor Peter Dixon, Councillor Kevin Brooks, Councillor Tony Ferrari, Councillor Christine James, Councillor Alex Furman, and Councillor Helen Scott.
Right, can I have a nomination for the chair of that committee, please? Does the full council agree? Yes?
No. So, if I may offer some clarity, the way standing orders are is that the members of the Services Committee need agreeing by full council first. Then those members newly elected to the Services Committee will be asked to nominate their chair. Thank you.
So in that case,
Madam Mayor, if it helps, can I propose that we accept all committee allocations as written on the screen?
if we're now finished with all amendments, I'm certainly very happy to make that proposal. I have a second, Councillor Brooks, second that. Can we have a show of hands from everyone who's happy for all membership to be agreed on block?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, which is unanimous, Madam.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Councillor Hope. Can I now ask for a nomination for the chair of the services committee? Vernon?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Councillor Ryan Hope.
I'll second that, Madam Mayor.
Right, seconded. Committee members. Oh, any other nominations? No? No, in that case, could I have a show of hands?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so that was unanimous, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much, hands up. So councillor Hope, that will be confirmed at your first meeting and you can then. After the yeah, okay. Next committee is planning and licensing.
So if members of the planning and licensing committee would like to stand, and then, Madam Mayor, we can take nominations for the chair of planning and licensing.
Is that everyone standing that's present? Yes, right, nominations for chair.
Nominate the council.
Next.
Okay, any other nomination? Councillor Lawson,
I'd like to nominate Councillor Lucy Hamilton.
second. Right, we could go to a vote. Any other nominations? No, we could go to a vote. Councillor Dickinson first, members. Councillor Dickinson, yes. One hand.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, and members for Councillor Hamilton.
1, 2, 3.
Right, in that case, chair for planning license for the coming year will be Councillor Dickinson. That will be confirmed at your first meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor Hamilton. The next committee, next committee is HR. The members of HR, please stand. Very much. Can I ask for a nomination for chair of HR? And are there any other nominations for chair of HR? No, could I just have a show of hands just to confirm that, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's unanimously members present.
Thank you very much, and that will be confirmed in first meeting. Thank you. Appeals, please. Members of the appeals, can you please stand? Right, could I have a nomination, please, for the chairman of appeals? Thank you.
I propose Councillor Howard as the chair.
Can I have a second, please? Councillor Ferrari. And show of hands.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's unanimous, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed. That again, that was confirmed at the first meeting, Councillor Lane. Thank you very much.
Madam Mayor, if I may, a question of procedure. Am I right in remembering that we have to have a show of hands to accept the lineup of the committee?
We did that on block at
On
the
block.
beginning.
That's apart from finance and governance.
Now, we now come to finance and governance, which is different. Finance and governance, of course, I've got my pay. Well, we have half. I've got half. Somewhere.
There we go.
Now you've got them there. Right, thank you. Thank you.
That's what it
That's got it.
Tell you what, would you like?
Got my own list. Finance and governance is made up of chairs of the other committees. HR and then other members. So if you could identify yourself, if you wouldn't mind standing up so that you can see who is on finance and governance, and then I can call for. Yes. Before I do that though, I'd actually, if you wouldn't mind, I'd just like to extend mine, and I know your thank to Councillor David Gray, who's chaired this committee for the whole of the life of this council. He's worked inordinately hard, as I think you all know. He's put us in a really strong financial state. Personally, I'm very grateful. As I say, I know that you all are. So if we could extend our thanks to Councillor Gray, I can't quite see Councillor Gray, but I know you're hiding there. Thank you very much indeed. And then if I could ask for a nomination for chairman for the coming year. Councillor Wakefield?
I nominate Councillor Barrow.
Do I have a seconder? Oh, lots.
Nobody else wants a job.
Yeah.
Just the minutes.
Yeah. And could I have a show of hands, please? Are there on, just a second, is there anybody else looking forward to be chairman of finance and governance? No. I'll show of hands, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You have a vote?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Right, item 12, this is a very nice item. Which is nomination of champion rules. I know that we have said that we wanted to develop this, and perhaps this year we'll be able to do that, because we've got maybe a little bit more time than exactly. The first champion to be nominated is the community champion. Could I have a nomination, please?
Can I propose Councillor Jill?
Seconder. Councillor Pope. Councillor Taylor, are you happy to continue with that role? Any other nominations?
Sorry, just a point of order. I believe the recommendation is asking us to first of all approve that the council continues to have these positions before we appoint to them.
I apologise, Councillor Hope. So what I need from you is your approval that we continue with the role of champion. Both for the two that we have at the moment, which is the community champion and the armed services champion, and any others that we might decide are needed during the course of this year. I'm very happy to propose that. Councillor Barrow is a second. Could I have a show of hands? Sorry, Councillor Brian, I hope you wanted to speak.
Yes, thank you. So thank you very much. The reason I actually objected there is because I'd like us to consider an additional champion role, and I'd like us to have a sports champion. I think sporting is very, very important within our community here in Weymouth. We do hold various international sporting activities such as the Ironman, and it's very important for people's health and well-being. And I think it's something that the council can embrace further and showing its support by appointing a community champion. Sorry.
Can I have a show? Does anyone want to speak to that? Yes, Councillor Ned.
Yeah, but could you amend that to sport and activities, because I think activities is a bit more general and recreational, but it's still healthy.
I'll accept that.
Madam Mayor, as I'm new to old language procedure, could somebody explain to me what the campaign does?
I'll have a go. We identified that we have some gaps that the committee don't fully cover. And these are some of those areas where we don't necessarily have it within the remit of the committee. So we decided to nominate councillors to have that responsibility to make sure it doesn't fall off the agenda and bring things up when necessary, will be a point of contact.
Thank you very much. And on that note, Councillor Fox, now you're aware of the role. You, I don't know, you won't put yourself forward immediately, but you may think over the next month or so that there's a gap in our offer. Do please come to council and have that discussion. Are there any other roles of being missing out at the moment? If not, I'm going to go for a vote for Jill Taylor to continue as the community champion. I thought we can. No. Right, okay. So we've got Councillor Jill Taylor as proposed as community champion. We okay. Right. Councillor Lambert.
Yeah, we haven't yet agreed, councillor Oates suggesting for a sports and recreation person.
Yeah, do that. Thank you.
Not what you were about, I'm sure you were about to talk. Okay.
I was putting my next to you. My very interesting. What I'm going to ask, is that the proposal is that we accept those three champion roles, that is the community, the armed forces, and the sport and activities. If we can approve that, we will then put names to those three. Could I have a proposer? Councillor Wakefield, seconder. And if I could have a go of hands, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Any against?
2,
And abstentions.
1, Madam Mayor.
Right, thank you very much. So that proposal is carried, that we now have those three champions within our establishment. We have a proposal for Councillor Jill Taylor, proposal and a seconder, Councillor Jill Taylor as community champion. Could I have a show of hands, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Okay. Are there any against?
No,
Any abstentions?
no. We're missing one vote.
Somebody forgot to vote?
Or I miscounted, but Councillor Ferrari, I don't believe, were you both in favour? My apologies, I couldn't see you, so that makes it 26.
Right, so that that confirms, Councillor Jill Taylor. I'm,
Can I propose that we re-elect Councillor Christine James as the position of Armed Forces Covenant General?
thank you very much, Councillor Harris. I was going to do the same. I have to second, Councillor Butler, you seconding, seconding. Do we have any other nominations for armed forces? No. In that case, could I have a show of hands, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any against?
None, Madam Mayor.
Any abstentions?
That's 2, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Very much.
Thank
And now we have our new role of sports and activities champion. Do I have a proposer?
Councillor Bell.
Do I have a second of the Councillor Bell? Are you seconding?
Yeah.
You are. Thank you. So Councillor Bell, are there any other nominations, please?
You ask me for one?
No. Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations? No? Okay, could I have a show of hands, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6. That's unanimous, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Right, that's nomination of champions. I'm not looking at my fiction. Nomination. There's a lot of duplication here as well. Nomination to outside bodies, the recommendation is members are asked to nominate councillors to the following groups. Are we able to do this on block, do you think? Or I'm going to read out this the nomination, the groups first. And get you to approve that we're nominating to those. And then I will read through the list of nominees. And it's possible to vote for that one when they're able to do so. Okay, but everybody, sorry, I can't vote.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Can I just point E, the rights way liaison officer? Can we replace Councillor Northern, please, with Councillor Bell?
Remove Councillor Northern. Okay, so I'll proceed as I just suggested, otherwise. So the groups are Dorset Association of Parish and Town Councils and National Association of Local Councils. The Harbour Board. We are Weymouth Limited Board. 2 councillors as trustees to the Jonathan and Rebecca Edwards charity. And the Rights of Way liaison officer. Are you all happy with us nominating councillors to those boards, Councillor Northern?
I'm very happy that Councillor Bell is taking over the Rights of Way liaison officer. I would point out that it's more than one or more liaison officers, because Dorset Council recognised the large number of public rights of way that exist in Weymouth and consider it a large job for a single person.
Yes, the end of that.
Yeah. So if anybody else wishes to stand in addition to Councillor Bell, there is an opportunity. You might have a particular interest in your own ward.
And what I would suggest there, Councillor Northern, is that rather than put anybody else back on the spot now, if it's something that people are interested in and want to have a discussion with Councillor Northern, and your name could come forward at a future date, and that way you're not bounced into something that you're not absolutely sure of. Okay. You've got your agenda, so currently on the Dorset Association item A, we have Councillor Harris, Councillor Brooks, and Councillor Huckle. Are you all 3 happy to remain as representatives.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I just clarify, which is the two nominees? Because I was under the understanding that councillors Harris and Buckle were the two nominees, and I was the, as and when required.
That's correct, that's correct. And you're happy with that? Yes. Correct. Okay, so otherwise that's all fine with all three of you?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to propose that if somebody can second that for me. Yep, thank you. For have a show of hands.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Thank you very much. B is what we don't have down here as the harbour board. Is that the harbour board or is it the harbour consultative committee?
It is the consultant,
Thank you.
not the higher. On the half.
Yes, well, it's the harbour board, so. So it's the Harbour Consultative Committee, and that's Wayland Harbour Consultative Committee. Currently, we have Councillor Huckle. Are you happy to continue with that, Councillor Huckle? You are. Anybody else have voting to that be on the Harbour Consultative Committee? You're not being pressed in a rush, Councillor Huckle. I will propose that to somebody to second, Councillor Hope. Can I have a show of hands again, please?
26, that's you done.
Thank you.
Madam
C is We Are Weymouth Limited, that's the bid, and currently,
Could I just say that the resort manager also attends to represent the activities on the beach?
thank you very much for that. The bid, the representative is Councillor Orrell. You're happy to continue, Councillor Orrell. Is there anyone else who wants to take that place or be?
I point out the position was for 2 years. So we don't need to vote on this.
Did we vote on it last year?
Yeah.
We did. Okay, thank you very much. We don't even need to take a vote for you, Councillor. We're so confident in you. Next one, D, is trustees of the Jonathan and Rebecca Edwards charity. And that's currently Councillor Huckle and Councillor Lambert. I think it goes with the ward, doesn't it, Councillor Brooks, if I thought so. So that is Councillor Huckle and Councillor Lambert, and you're both happy to continue?
Was Councillor Wakeling?
No, quite happy for you to continue.
Thank you very much. And again, let's go to the board. I don't think we need to take a vote on that. And we then come to rights of way liaison. Was Councillor Northam, proposed now Councillor Bell. We've had it, Councillor Bell has been nominated and been seconded, so could I just have a look at your hands, please?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 34. 26, that's unanimous, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. So that completes nominations for outside bodies. Agenda item 14 is confirmation of working group membership. You need me to go all the way through.
On a point of clarity, you do have listed before you, councillors, the neighbourhood planning working group, just to say that that group no longer meets and has been superseded by the neighbourhood planning working group. So, no.
The steering.
Steering group, I'm so sorry, I meant to say the steering group because that is the working group. So that group is to be removed from the list in front of you.
No, I think you should list the neighbourhood plan steering group, the councillor membership, which is what I suggested in the email, what I wrote. Can I, would you like me to read out the names of the councillors who are on the steering group?
If you would, Councillor.
So it's myself, councillor Hamilton, councillor Health, councillor Hamilton, councillor Weaving, and councillor Huckle. If any other councillor would like to join this group, steering group, then please get in touch with us and we will put the nomination there. The idea through to the steering group, because it's the steering group that confirms merit of the steering group.
The main one who wants to keep them. Right. It is there.
So, we're going to. Yeah, okay. So it's really an outside body now, isn't it?
No, it's not an outside body because it's a delegated body to act on the council's behalf.
It will, in future years, it has some stuff for the.
Yeah, okay. Right.
And it reports for full council for endorsement of its decisions.
Thank you very much. We've got quite a list of working groups here with membership. Would you like me to read through all of this, or do you want me to take it, and Councillor Harris, you have something to say?
Yes, I'll be happy to take it all together, but I'd like to amend the list for CEE before we do. And say that Councillor Toff, Councillor Gray, Councillor Wakely and Councillor Dickinson have been regular members of that group.
Right, thank you very much. Could you repeat those names, please?
Yes, Councillor Toff, Councillor Gray, Councillor Wakely and Councillor Dickinson.
Wakeling.
Wakeling. No, Wakely.
Watley.
Watley, sorry. Yes, okay.
Councillor Todd, do you want to say something?
Madam Mayor, just to say that I attended the Tumble Ground.
Thank you. Councillor Hamilton?
Thank you, Madam Chair. 2 points, please. Firstly, on the membership of the Neighbourhood Plan Steering Group, I was originally involved as the Chair of Planning and Licensing, and I'd like to hereby invite the new Chair, well, the continuing Chair of Planning and Licensing to join the steering group to take forward the important work of this. And secondly, I have unexpected time on my hands. I'd like to join the Climate and Ecological Emergency Group if I may. Thank you.
Are you planning to stay on the neighbourhood planning steering group?
Yes, please.
You are, right, okay. That's a decision that you make internally, I think, Councillor.
The terms of reference for the steering group says 4 councillors and 7 members of the public, and the election of people to the acceptance of people coming forward on that group is a steering group decision. So I'm happy that we put willing to be a part of that to forward, but it will require somebody to stand down.
Thank you. Councillor James?
I was just going to say that I don't get the time to go to those meetings, so you can take me off that list. No, I'm happy to let that, so. Thank you.
You're not on the climate.
I don't get a chance to go, so.
It's the one we need, that is an open plan steering group, to find.
They determine it themselves, and then they will put in 5 forward in our
No.
steering group.
No, I'm happy to receive from councillor. The steering group will receive councillor Dickinson's desire to request to join the steering group, and the steering group will then have to decide.
Okay, so we will nominate.
We're nominating the 5, and you can decide, and you'll decide, and that's no. I think it's just, I'm not being presumptuous, I thought I saw you suggest that you would accept the nomination. Good, thank you, thank you very much. Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What's was on the CEE group?
Haven't said you won't be able to do that. I just meant to break that. Please don't say something.
It's been regularly.
Because we're now-
Yeah.
Please add Councillor Weaving to that group.
Right, Councillor Whitson.
This is going on there. Could I be added to the youth
We're getting older.
Thank you very much. Right, if you're all keeping up, do you know now what changes have been made, where you are and where you aren't, James?
No, I just was going to mention about the other groups earlier, when we go back. Because I'm a trustee on the Western Support Fund, and that is the councillor has to do that, so I'm not sure whether that is.
Sorry, which group did you say?
It's the Western Support Fund.
Oh, right, okay.
Which used to be the benevolent fund, and that has to be a councillor, so is that anything that needs, that comes to be on there? It did, when it originally come here.
Would you mind terribly if we leave that for the moment and officers will investigate what's happening
That's always
there.
been a Western councillor that sits on that.
Okay.
I think it was Brian, Alex, myself, and they asked if I would do it, which I have been doing.
Right, we'll look into it for you, thank you very much.
To stay on it, so.
Right, thank you very much. Okay, so we've got an extra one on use. Everything else, are you all, as I say, if you're all keeping up, you all know where you are. All up on the screen behind me currently, which is great. Are we happy? Do we need to take a vote, or can we just informally agree? I'm happy to take a vote if you feel we need to, but seems to me we've.
I think you may wish to, for clarity and confirmation, take a non-block vote. It's
Yeah.
something you wish to do.
Would somebody propose that we accept that? Councillor Wakeling, could I have a, Councillor Frost? Could I have a show of hands that we accept all those
That's on the board.
membership as on the board?
Yeah.
So for the minutes, I will say. That's 26. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. We've got information items. And clock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Happy to confirm the information's in front of you. One just confirms the tag membership, which is outlined in standing orders. Section 27, if anyone is interested in reading that. An update on the actions. Dawn Rondeau, Chief Executive of We Are Weymouth, which is Weymouth Bid, will be coming to a future briefing council. That's been confirmed. And I understand, and I may refer to the Assistant Town Clerk at this point, that the bench by the bus stop, the request from the Upload Society is agreed and the paperwork is in progress. If I may invite the Assistant Town Clerk to speak, Madam Mayor. Helen next. Okay, so that is in progress, just to reassure members. And the forward plan is as in front of you, councillors, and just a reminder that it's not defensive, subject to regular change, has changed several times actually since the agenda was issued. And it is subject to regular amendments and revision, and it can be found in the members area of their point. Did anyone get it?
Councillor Northern.
I understand why, excuse me, I understand why the list hasn't been updated, but at the previous full council meeting, I asked that the September full council meeting included endorsement of the pre-submission neighbourhood plan. I understand why it's not. That would be it.
I can confirm, Madam Mayor, that it is on the current.
Thank you. Anybody else have any further comments on the forward plan? No. So I'm asked to ask you to note all the information items. Thank you all for a very good first meeting. I'd like to remind you of the Community Expo. I know that the Town Clerk has put out a request for help with that and representation. If you're able, even if it's only to pop down for half an hour or an hour, that would be very nice. And it will be our opportunity to thank our retiring mayor and deputy
mayor as well, which would be good to be able to do rather more formally. And apart from that, it's coming up to 8:15.